ALIS system, which Matt just mentioned, that some of you might be aware of, stands for Arid Lands Information System, and the pastoral unit from DEW use that to do their pastoral lease assessments to comply with the Pastoral Land Management and Conservation Act. So they collect a lot of vegetation species data as part of that, which sits in ALIS. So we've had a few requests in recent years to make that more accessible. So we now extract that as of April this year. We now extract that each week and add it to the super tables. So when you do your super table searches, you'll be getting access to all that pastoral data, which is very, very good. You can access that through the super table layers in the Aegis environment if you use ArcMap, or just through the ENV Maps tool that we've got if you prefer that one. This ALIS data is not currently available externally through Nature Maps or Atlas of Living Australia because there's some sensitivity issues around delivering it publicly. If you're looking inside the super table, there's a field called source code, which if you want the ALIS data, you would filter on AL, or if you're extracting records, all the ALIS records will have AL against them in the source code, and they've also been assigned to a BDBSA project number, even though they're managed within ALIS. We often give them a project number just so we can define the metadata and make them more accessible and discoverable for people. So it's project 1162, so you can filter on that too if you're looking in the super table. And the description of the ALIS data set, if you're not very familiar with it or if you want to know more about it, is available. Is available in the BDBSA metadata environment. So any BDBSA projects, you can go in and discover a description of the project and its methods. So I'll just quickly show you that. Yeah, on the external website, under science and information data, biological databases, information sharing, you will find this under project number. It says existing BDBSA project numbers. And we have this report here that's got all the current projects. So there's like about 1,200 on there. Who's questions throughout?
Can you sort that alphabetically?
Paste it into Excel.
Because if you're after ALIS and you don't know what number it is.
Yes, so this is when you go Control F and you can do keyword searches.
Yep.
So, and then it'll go through and find everything with ALIS in it. But this just Control F function is quite great because you can just like go NCS if you want that, or you can go Wallaby if you want all the Wallaby projects and go through. You could probably pastoral would have been a better thing to search on here than ALIS because ALIS is in part of the words, but I can probably do this quicker. I like scrolling through and showing you the extent of all the projects. So then, so then you click on that and you get the summary metadata. But keep in mind that in the background we've got all the notes, the nitty-gritty notes that are really good that tell you who should have put their data in and hasn't, and when the last load went. And so you can always contact us for the inside information. All right, so so you can get the abstract there in the summary and some other details about the dates around that. Oh, now I'm not very good at all. All right. So just to give you a few, that was the survey summary, right? So there's a map just showing the coverage of that ALIS data through the pastoral zone. And the legend shows some of the different categories of methodology that pastoral use for collecting this data set. So it's all in the one survey at the moment. So I think they've got about 5 or 6 different methodologies, but the main ones you can see here are the pre-assessment survey, quantitative survey, and observation survey. And their data set dates back to 1970 up to the present day, so they're still feeding records in. And there's about 250,000 records of plants that have come in from that. And this is just a subset of the data being viewed through ENV maps. with a search up in the top corner there, you can see they've used the ALIS in the source code to filter out the ALIS data. And anyone who's familiar with E&B maps or nature maps understands that you can then export that down the bottom there out into Excel to play with if you want.